Hello everyone, this is Coach Simón. Um, I'm FIDE Master and I'm just doing the broadcast for the ASU Open tournament from September 8th. So though in this tournament there are some students of mine playing, so I'm just going to comment and make some notes for them so they can watch while they are at the tournament. So let's start. Okay, in the first game I have Shresta's games. So she played e4, e5, then knight to f3, then went to knight c6 and bishop c4. Italian opening h6, which is not a normal move. I mean, you're wasting a tempo. Knight to f6 would have been better, probably. So castle, knight to f6, knight c3, and d6. h3, bishop e7, d3, castle, bishop e3, bishop e6, and bishop b3. Queen d7 and knight d5. Okay, this position looks like kind of equal. I mean, I don't think white can get something from here. So I think that a better choice would have been d4, for instance, trying to break the center. And after pawn captures, and knight captures, maybe I can just capture with even my queen. I think it's okay. And at least I have a little bit more of a space, right? And this bishop is superior to this bishop, which is not working yet. So I think that position would have been better for white. But okay, so knight d5, then captures, bishop captures, knight captures, pawn captures, and knight to d8. Well, this knight looks pretty bad. Actually, it's not going anywhere. All the squares are blocked, so I don't think that's a good move. Then it was a3. Yeah, actually, I thought that here c4 would have been better because right now you are protecting the pawn. At some point you can play d4 and try to get some space advantage. But okay, I think that white didn't see that move. So after a3, there was f5 and then bishop d2, f4 and c3. Okay, to be honest, I think that here white should play rook e1. In my opinion, this is a better move because in next move you can play d4 and try to break down this pawn, right? You need to try to put some attackers around this e5 pawn so you can break his pawn chain, which is pretty strong, right? If you can see, all the pawns are connected, so if we play d4 here, we will have the chance to break down. So probably d4 was better. So in the game, what happened was knight to f7. Sorry. Oh yeah, knight to f7, yes. Rook e1 right now. Knight g5. And then captures, and king to h2. Okay, actually this is a normal move. I think white wants to try to avoid this f3 tactic, but probably queen g4 also was a good move because then you can just create a battery, put one rook here, the other one here, and then play d4. So you can finally break down this pawn change. But okay, in the game what happened was king to h2, bishop to h4, and rook to f1. So finally there is f3 attacking, so g3, bishop g5, bishop captures, pawn captures, queen d2, and g4. Actually this might look like a good move, but it isn't because after h4 black attack has gone, so you can't even think about putting more pressure here. So she played this move and now this move. Okay, if you ask me, I think that the best choice for white here should be the same, like putting one rook here, then go here, and right now you are putting pressure here too. So you can double rooks on the e file, then look and try to play this d4 move, which I think is pretty useful for white. So I thought that white might be playing like this, but she played queen g5 instead, putting some pressure on the pawn, and queen f5 right now. Yes, I guess that the best thing that white can do right now is just make an exchange, because this pawn is hanging, so you need to capture. Rook captures, rook a d1. Okay, one more time, this move is not in the right file, right? You need to put the rook in an open file. So actually there is no open file right now, but at least if you put this rook here, you can go to d5, to e4, and somehow put some pressure around this g4 pawn, then create the battery, put in the other rook here, and finally you can play d4. So I don't think that that was the best idea for white, but okay, not that bad. Rook a1, e4, and the main problem is that right now maybe you have to capture here, and that might be a problem. Yeah, I think actually you should capture, because otherwise he's playing e3, so, and you need to protect this one. So I think the only chance is to capture, and rook e1 right now. But here, as you can see, black has the control of the position, and actually he missed a very good move here, which was rook e2. This move was crushing, because you are putting pressure here, you are putting pressure here, and if your opponent just decides to go for it, like capture, pawn captures, rook e1, then this pawn is falling. So this might be like a good position for black, but he missed it. So what happened in the game was capture, capture, and rook capture pawn, which is also a good move. Check. Yeah, I think rook e4 here would have been better, but she played rook c8 instead, and rook c5, rook b8, and b6. Okay, yeah, what happened here is that black is a little bit better, and now these pawns are pretty strong because block the white king. So that this is one of the main reasons because I wanted to attack it first and not right now. Rook a8. Okay, not sure about what is this doing, but just attacking the pawn. So a5, rook to h8, king e6. Somehow black is just forgetting that he can attack, right? Black should play rook here and rook e2 and keep attacking. But okay, king to e6, h5, rook e5, rook king g1. Okay, actually I don't think that's a good move, but okay, maybe white's position is just lost. So check. Yep, and here I think that black is just winning. And finally black resigns. So okay, that was a good game, but there is some mistakes that Shrestha needs to analyze in order to try to improve. So let's hope that she can do this better in the second round. Okay, so I'm moving to another game, which is okay. It's Pranav. Pranav was black. So in the game, what happened was e4, e5, knight to f3, knight c6, bishop c4, knight to f6, and knight to g5. Okay, this is what we call fegatello opening. It's a very dangerous opening, so you need to really know this very well before to play it. d5, pawn takes, and knight takes. Okay, this is the first mistake. Black shouldn't capture here. This is not a good way to follow this position. Okay, what you should play in this position is knight to a5, attacking the bishop, right, and not allowing any other sacrifice. So if bishop goes back right now, or even gives check, you can play c6, pawn captures, bishop to e2, then h6, knight goes back to f3, e4, and here you have full compensation for the pawn, because at some point white needs to go back and you have all your pieces developed. So that's how you play this fegatello opening. Okay, next moves might be queen d4 if he allows you to attack here, right? Looks like a very powerful threat. And also, if he doesn't want this, he can always play like bishop e2 goes back, and then just after this move, and e4, white king goes back, and black can recover the pawn. So this is how you play fegatello attack. So you need to be careful if you don't know how to play this. I don't recommend you to play this one more time if you don't study this first. Okay, so after knight g5, then he played d5 and pawn takes, knight takes. Okay, yeah, the main problem with this position is not only queen f3, okay, which attacks everything because threats mate, threats the knight. So this position actually is pretty bad for black. Also, there is one more trick, which is knight captures f7, which is a very powerful idea. But okay, he can learn this later. So what happened here is knight takes d5, queen f3, attacking everything. Bishop e6, I think, was the only defense for black. Knight to c3, which was a bad move. Actually, white should capture here and get just a better position, because these double pawns, I mean, his king is a little bit unprotected. So this was the best choice for white. But okay, he gave you a chance by playing knight to c3, and then knight d4 was a very good move for Pranav. So after queen e4, I think that the best move here was just capture. Pranav just could capture here the knight, and even though your opponent can capture here, you might be able to defend the position. Maybe you can capture with the bishop, and he will capture with his knight, and then just castle. And it seems like white is well protected, you have no more problems in this position, and black should be okay. But okay, what happened in the game was queen e4, then knight captures on c3, pawn captures, and here, one more time, he could capture here, right? So he missed that chance. Because even if he captures here, black can capture this bishop, and even though the position is, it looks to me like it's still favorite, the favorite here is white, I think that black has some resource to try to fight the position, and it should be like a very dangerous game, but black is not losing. So in the game, what happened is that even though when he captures, then queen captures on b7, And right now, I think that the best move here was this knight to capture here, actually. And I don't think actually this is a lost position. I think black might be doing okay, but you have to do this intermezzo move in order to get some better positions for black. In any case, it needs some deep analyze because it's a very complicated position. So queen d8, what happened in the game? Protecting the rook, pawn captures, and then pawn captures. Okay, the most important thing for you should be just develop your pieces because you are you are a little bit late with your development. So probably you could play something different like I think bishop d6 looks like a good move because otherwise if you capture here I think he can always give check and he will recover this bishop back. So actually it doesn't work. And if you play this move, then bishop a3 mate. So I think that might be the only move for him. So after queen c6 check, then was bishop d7, queen d5, and bishop e6. Bishop b5, and yep, this was one more mistake because right now you have to move your king. So what you could play instead probably was queen check because you are attacking and protecting. And after he moved his king, let's say king to f1 for instance, then c6, attacking the queen, and then try to make some exchanges, try to make an exchange, trade some queens, and then the position for black looks a little bit worse, but at least it's not lost. So after this bad move with bishop e6, bishop b5 was check, king to e7, bishop a3 check, king f6, queen f3, and bishop f5. Bishop captures. Okay, and here you should capture with the rook, right? Because if you capture with rook, at least somehow you can get the open file. So even though the position is worst, at least you can try to fight here. But okay, after this captures g4 and then g6, I think the position was completely lost. And I think he resigned here. Okay, so bad luck for Pranav, but I hope he can win the other games. So let's move to the last game. Let me see. It was series game from round 2. So it was kind of Pirk defense. g6, bishop f4, bishop g7, knight to f3, castle, bishop c4, knight b d7. Okay, see, here you just need to be careful because he has like a small trick. Is this tactic? And if you capture here, then he will play this pawn. And it's attacking your bishop and your knight. Okay, he will recover the piece and he will get a very active center. So what you can play instead in these positions, also after, sorry, even that bishop c4 is not that bad, you can play bishop d3 or something, and then you avoid this threat. So you could play this move, for instance. I think it's not a bad move, and developing your pieces too. So knight b d7, e5, knight to e8, and then castle, knight to b6, b3. Okay, this looks like a pretty bad move because you have a very good bishop, so you're attacking here, so you need to keep that bishop, right? Because it's a very powerful piece. So just bishop to b3 looks like a good move, keeping the pressure around the diagonal. And at some point, if you have time, maybe you can try this one to try to put more pressure on this pawn. So this position looks just great for white. But okay, instead d3, and I think that he just missed it because black should capture here. That will be a better move for him. And that's it. After that move, I think that black is just a little bit better. So I didn't like this b3, okay? Okay, so in the game, black played d5 and then bishop to d3 and c6 right now. a4, bishop g4, h3. Oh, so he captures, and it looks good for white right now because this bishop is also a powerful piece, so he shouldn't be traded for this knight. So bishop captures, queen captures, knight to c7, rook f e1, knight to e6, and knight e2. Okay, this looks like an interesting move because if he captures, you can capture with your knight back, and maybe you are trying to improve your pieces, so it looks good. c5, not sure about this move. Okay, so I think that here you just missed this a5 pawn, which I think it looks pretty good for you. And if the knight goes back like here, now you can capture the pawn, he can capture, and you can play knight d4. Putting this knight in the center, it looks like the knight is not going anywhere. So it seems that here white has a very good position. So what happened in the game was c4, pawn captures, and then bishop e4, queen d7, a5, knight d5, captures, c3. I think I will prefer this rook here to e1 because right now I'm protecting this pawn, and what I can do next is knight to c3. Looks like a very good move for white. And yep, after what happened, queen d4, bishop h6, knight to c7, captures, knight f4, e6, queen g3, knight d5, rook e4, f5. Okay, actually here the game just finished because what happened is that CD missed this tactic, capturing on e6. It's not one check, but this is a triple check, winning the queen, right? So pawn captures, rook captures, knight to h5. One more time, this move would have been better because you are winning the rook, and also you are getting the rook and also putting some pressure and getting one more pawn. So after knight h5, white is still winning, but not winning the pawn on e6. So king to h8, captures, rook e1, rook e8, h4, b5, pawn takes, and queen g5. Okay, queen g5, queen to f7. I think that a better move here should be this one, because you are threatening rook captures, right? Since the rook is putting some pressure on the other rook. So it's not easy to see how can black defend, because this position looks like completely lost. You can move the rook because the e6 pawn is hanging, and if you goes back with your knight, then d5 would have been a better move for white, threatening to capture, threatening to push the pawn. So many attacks here, black is completely lost. But okay, queen g5 happened in the game. Okay, queen g5. and after queen to f7, queen e5 check was the move. But here white is winning one more time. You can capture this with this amazing sacrifice of queens, and if pawn captures, you can capture with rook by giving check. And after king goes here, just pin the queen and you are just one more piece down, right? Sorry, a piece up. You are just a rook up. So queen e5 check was a good move. King g8, and now right now she saw the tactic. She capture, check, and okay, yeah, here she won. So okay, I hope this quick analyze can help you in the tournament, and I wish you lucky and see you soon.